If you are buying only hype coins moving into 2026, it means you did not learn enough lessons in 2025, especially with that terrible crash that we had in October. So that's why for today's video, I'll be showing you the type of projects you want to be buying and getting invested into moving into 2026 and even beyond that. Once you know where the smart money and where the innovation is moving towards, investing into those type of projects early is what gives you the edge to make that life-changing money and maybe the Lambo buying money, if you know what I mean. So yeah, for today's video, we'll be looking at the type of projects that you want to be getting invested into moving into 2026. We're looking at the AI projects, real world asset projects, layer 2s, and privacy projects. These are the 4 categories of projects that I'm sure are really going to do well, but not all under the category are going to do well. That's why I'll be giving us the ingredients, what you need to see before you actually start getting invested into this project. With that out of the way, don't go anywhere because this one is going to be the one you've been waiting for. So alright guys, welcome back to VC Crypto Gist, where we talk all things crypto so that even your grandma and those your friends who think that crypto is a scam can actually follow along and understand that this is where the money is being made. So if you are new to the channel, you know what to do. Like, subscribe to all that YouTube stuff, and yeah, let's jump right into this video because I'm as excited as you are. So we're going to be looking at the type of projects you want to be getting into and what you need to see before you actually choose to invest into this project. All right, so this is going to be more like a fundamental analysis video by this side. All right, so we're going to be looking at real projects. We're not doing any memes, no fluff, just real utility. All right, real utility. So the first section we're going to be looking at is the AI/crypto projects. All right, you know, we're seeing a lot of fusion of AI and crypto projects come up these days, but a lot of them are trash. Like, you should not put your money, you shouldn't even think of investing into such projects. Yeah, so many of them. So now, AI tokens aren't going away, they're just getting smarter, and most of them are reinventing themselves basically. So if you're looking to invest into an AI project for crypto, this is what you should be looking for. Look for decentralized compute networks. We have a lot of them. Look for AI model marketplaces. We still have a lot of them, but not so much. Then autonomous agents that trade or build. These are the 3 main categories of projects I'm looking at. Now, this is what it should look like. You should see decentralized GPU networks, AI agents that are live, fully on-chain, not being owned by like any entity, like the way we have on ChatGPT and Grok and the rest are owned by their parent companies basically. Then you want to look for autonomous trading protocols. In 2026, AI won't just assist crypto, it will run parts of crypto. So you don't want to be missing out. You don't want to be fading any project that you can get into early. And this is not just for 2026, even beyond 2026, when the next bull run cycle will begin basically. Now let's look at real world assets. Is the next section we're looking to, the next category of projects. Now this is where the real money is. You saw Ondo. Now I think Ondo is backed by BlackRock, and we're seeing a lot of real world assets projects doing really well, not just on the charts but on ground. When it comes to actual utility, these projects are killing it basically, and they are keeping their promises. So now real world asset tokens are backed by real world value. For example, your real estate, your treasury bonds, your invoices, your commodities. And why do these projects matter? Because the institutionals understand them, the governments are okay with them, and they bridge traditional finance into crypto. So you know how much value we already have locked in traditional finance. We have billions, if not trillions. We have trillions of dollars worth of liquidity in traditional finance. Now imagine real world assets bridging that gap, and all of that capital can flow into the crypto space. That's really going to be huge for crypto. So now, don't ask whether a real world asset token is popular. Do your own research and see whether that token or coin is backed by something real and it has actual utility. It can be used. The purpose for which it was created, it actually serves that purpose. That's what you want to see. So now onto the next category, privacy coins. These are the silent kings. We saw there is this particular coin that did a very crazy rally. I've forgotten the name basically, but I didn't trade it personally, but we saw what it did. So now privacy is making a comeback, and this is not for criminals, please. This is for normal people like you and I that need our privacy unlocked. As governments tighten surveillance and KYC and demand for privacy coins are making a very huge comeback, not for shady people but for everyday people like us. Now as governments tighten surveillance and KYC, the demand for privacy rises basically, because now it's not everything we feel comfortable sharing, all right, because we don't know what they do with this information or data. So now we need privacy projects that focus on zero knowledge proofs, private smart contracts, and selective disclosure, meaning you get to choose what level of data you want to be sharing, you want to be public, basically. So privacy isn't about hiding crimes, it's about protecting freedom, which is everyone's basic human rights, basically. And in 2026, privacy tokens with real cryptography will matter more than ever, and even beyond 2026, because privacy is becoming a very big issue. And recently there was a summit with Vitalik Buterin, the founder of Ethereum, that was trying to focus more on how we can make Ethereum more private. So privacy has really been a big issue, and it's not just today. So now privacy tokens are really going to play a very big part in 2026 and even beyond 2026. So now for the final section, which is our layer 2s, we are going to look at the infrastructure winners, basically, because we have so many different layer 2s, but it is only the projects with real infrastructure and utility that are really going to see the big massive gains, basically, because you don't really want to be throwing your money behind something that has no infrastructure or utility. So now, layer 2s are highways of crypto. They make blockchains faster, cheaper, and much more scalable. In 2026 and beyond, not all layer 2s will survive, and this is something I've been stating out and saying. We have so many layer 2s, but not all of them are really going to do well over time in the longer term. We're talking like 3 to 4 to 5 years, and even beyond that. The real winners will have real users, real applications, revenue, and ecosystem grants, basically. So don't chase what is trending, follow the usage metrics, which is why I keep singing it out in every video. Do your own research, do your own research, do your own research, basically. How do you pick winners? Here's how smart investors invest into different projects across these categories that they have interest inside. Now, the first thing I would want you to do, which I would do, is follow the developers, not influencers. All right, influencers are being paid money to shill a project down your throat. The developers will tell you what is really working and how to go about the whole thing, basically. And developers are more likely to call out a project for what it is than the influencer. So if a project is actual rubbish and nonsense, the developers are more likely to tell you that it is, compared to the influencers are being paid to show this project down your throat. Now check for the total value locked and the active users. This will let you see how much is backing the project, basically, because for Ethereum now we have billions in total value locked. So people are staking and backing Ethereum with billions of dollars, compared to a project that is being backed by a very small amount. It doesn't have so much active users on the blockchain. That is not something you want to be getting into. So for any project within these categories, make sure that the total value locked can correspond properly to the amount of users that you have on the blockchain. And the total value locked is not just coming from just one place, because now total value locked, the value can be very high, but it's just a select few people that lock the amount there, basically. Meaning those people can make that project fall whenever they feel like, or when they are done with the project. So you don't want that. You want to see that the total value locked is substantial and the active users are substantial enough, so that when you do the maths, basically, and you consider and evaluate, all right, it makes a little more sense. Then study the token supply mechanics. All right, you don't want a project with shitty token economics, because that's one thing that actually destroys a project. So you want to ensure that the token supply mechanics makes sense, it's cryptographically secure, and it cannot be mintable. And because there are some projects that they'll say it's unmintable and the rest, but later on you see that sometimes it can be minted. The amounts that are supposed to be locked for some time can be unlocked whenever. You want to ensure that all of this is secure, safe, and it's on-chain. For the most part, it's on-chain, basically. Then you need to watch the ecosystem funding. Now this is really what separates a lot of projects. We saw a lot of projects launch in 2025, but what separated the projects that actually did well from projects that did not do well is the funding, basically. Because a lot of projects now, they don't get good funding, and then they want to create so many tokens and sell to people, and then they dump the tokens on people, and it's all rubbish. It's just a cycle of rubbish over and over again. You need to make sure that the ecosystem funding is substantial and the team behind the project are not shady people, basically. But all in all, the ultimate advice I'll give to anyone is always make sure you do your own research, and you invest smartly, you invest wisely, and only risk what you can afford to lose, because there is no investment that does not come with substantial amounts of risk, basically. So now, the new year and into the future cycle, this is not going to reward gamblers, because we have seen that the landscape is changing. So you need to position with wisdom, and you need to be strategic about the projects you are investing into, basically. So it will reward real thinkers, and if you want a curated list of real projects, you know what to do. Join our Telegram channel. I can't state it enough. Now, not all the projects that I listed did well. Not all the projects that got listed in the Telegram channel did well for so long, but some really performed very well. Always remember that when you're investing into this project, you need to be strategic, as at when you want to take your profits, how much you are willing to lose per project, and all of that must be inside your investment plan. So don't just go buying a project and praying that it goes to the moon. Basically, you don't want to do that, because you are going to shortchange yourself. That's something that I really need to put out there. So now, what I will say as the final closing remark for this video is 2026 is most likely going to be the bear market. You don't want to be buying tops, basically. The best thing you should do is DCA, buy your projects in little bits leading up to the bottom, then buy a large chunk when you are sure the bottom is in for you, basically. And always remember, risk what you can afford to lose and manage your risk properly, because this is the best advice that will work for anybody that is interested in making money in this coming 2026 and beyond, when the new cycle begins. So yeah, with that being said, we'll be ending this video here. If you found this video useful, helpful, insightful, you know what to do. Smash up the likes, share with your friends, and yeah, I'll be seeing us in the next one. Stay rich.